Guys, we got a new motherfucking setup today. I am back home in Arizona. I am no longer in California. So we got a whole new setup. We got Kermisha in the background over here. Anyways, hi everybody and welcome to the Poor Decisions Podcast, the podcast where every sip leads into a story. I am your host, Sydney Christensen. What the fuck is up? It's been a minute, guys. I didn't post last week because I had filmed an episode and when I was editing it, I absolutely fucking hated it. Even though I had filmed it probably 2 weeks ago, I just don't have the same views on that said topic as I did. And I was very closed off of it because it was a serious topic. But my goal on this podcast is to be as authentic as I can be. I just wasn't myself on that episode. So I just scrapped the whole thing and I kept refilming it and refilming it. And it just was not going to plan. That's just the perfectionist in me. But I finally finished the episode and it will be up within the next 2 weeks. But because that topic is so hard, it just flooded a lot of old memories. I wanted to do an episode that is really lighthearted and really fun. And I was thinking about videos that I love to watch, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok, and even just the podcasts I listen to. And I love and I'm obsessed with girl talk videos. I love big sister advice videos. I make some myself on my TikTok. So go follow me there at Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes. So I thought it would be a really fun episode to just have a little girl talk moment. Because as I said in episode 1, I want to serve as your virtual big sister. So I'm here to give you all the advice that you need, especially when it's topics you can't even talk about with your mom. I got you. I'm here. And I would love to make more episodes like this and have like a little big sister series. So in the description, there is a sheet where you can enter your own questions or even just your situations that you want advice on, and I will gladly answer all your questions and give you advice personally. I absolutely love making videos like this and would love to make more. So let's get into it. Advice on mean girls in school and people making fun of you. I actually just made a TikTok where I talk about my personal advice for mean girls. In all honesty, the best thing you can do is just not care. Simply just because people who do make fun of you and people who are mean to you simply just want to get a rise out of you and honestly are more bothered if you don't say anything or do anything. I constantly grew up with mean girls. Even my best friend throughout elementary school and middle school was literally top tier mean girl in my opinion. And truly these people just like getting a reaction out of people because they think it's funny. And plus it adds more drama into their life to keep it interesting. So the best thing you could do is just literally ignore them. And when people make fun of you for being you, this is how I see it. Think of your life as a TV show, and the people who are making fun of you are just watching it and they can't wait for the next episode. They can't wait for the new season. Like, they obviously have nothing better to do than just make fun of what you're doing. I mean, I just kind of went through this. When I launched this podcast and when people started to figure out I had a podcast, I would get so much shit, even from people that I considered my friends. But then at the same time, they will watch my episodes. They will talk to me and be like, oh yeah, when you talked about whatever. People who make fun of you are just fans and they're obsessed and sick. How to get over being the ugly friend. I'm very passionate about this. I'm about to go in. I was in this trio, and honestly, being friends with them constantly made me feel like the ugly friend. They both would get invited to stuff. Or they always would get attention from boys. And even growing up throughout elementary too, when I had this very toxic best friend growing up, I always felt like the ugly friend. But that is just simply because the people who I was hanging out with made me feel like the ugly friend. So if you are friends with people who make you feel like you are the ugly person in the friendship, that is not a real friend. Your friend should constantly be hyping you up and encouraging you, not making you feel bad about yourself. I say just drop them and find new friends. Because nobody in a relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic, should ever make you feel like that. Would you recommend a rebound after a breakup? Fuck no. No. Never do that. If you rebound after a relationship, it's just because you are craving having a relationship with a person. You simply just want the security of being in that relationship again, even though you're not going to get that in this rebound. And when you finally realize that, it's just going to be a mess. I was in a long-term relationship, and I remember after we broke up, I think about a month later, he got a new girlfriend. And I just thought that was so weird because we had dated for such a long time, and then like in a month you could go find a new person. I don't know, that's just crazy to me. Should I chase love or should I wait for it? I've always struggled with this because I am such a lover girl at heart. I want to find my Prince Charming. I want to live my happily ever after. So in the past, I would always try to force these relationships. And I think when you chase love or some kind of security in relationship, it's just because you're feeling lonely. When compared to if you wait for it, then that right moment will come to you. So I say wait for it. How many partners is too much partners? Do big numbers mean you have a problem? I think you can have whatever body count you want because nobody will ever know the true reason why your body count is high. Like, I don't know, maybe you were just going through something, going through a hoe phase. It happens to the best of us. So me personally, I'm not going to sit and judge a person for their body count. Because if that's what you like to do and that's what you want to do, then go ahead, be my guest. As long as you're being consensual and safe with it, obviously. Do I think people are allowed to have a preference on how many bodies their partner has? Sure. Me personally, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. As long as you're clean, as long as you're being safe. How do I get over a situationship with the fuckboy? I know I deserve better, but I want him to change for me. Babe, he's not going to change. I can promise you that. I used to be very guilty of the he's going to change, he's going to get better. That is a decision they're going to have to make on their own. That is simply just something that you cannot force. But if you want to get over him, the best thing you could do is just cut off all contact, because having the knowledge that he is right there at your fingertips to text is not going to help your case. So cut off all strings with him. And as much as a reality check this is, he's not going to change for you. He will change when he wants to change. It fucking sucks, but it's the truth. How to be a lover girl in hookup culture. I'm gonna be 110% honest with you. You fucking can't. I am such a lover girl. I just get attached. I really do. And I overthink every little moment I had with this person. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, he held me. There's no way that's just a random thing he'd do on a Thursday night. But yeah, it definitely is a normal thing that he does on a Thursday night. Although I do believe friends with benefits can work within hookup culture. It just literally has to be with somebody that you know you're not going to catch feelings for and you know is not going to catch feelings for you. It's just like a mutual hookup. The next question is thoughts on friends with benefits. As I said, it just needs to be somebody that you're truly, truly friends with and that it's not going to be awkward when things are done. How to be everything a guy wants. Fuck the guy. Be everything you want. You should not try to be something just because a guy wants you to, or just because you want that male attention. Because at the end of the day, each guy wants something different. So you're not going to please all of them. Be everything you want for yourself, and the right guy is going to come for you. Because the right guy is going to want you for the way you are, and not the way you want to be. My ex keeps drunk texting me from time to time, and it throws me off my healing. What should I do? How is your ex contacting you? Block him. Guys, no contact with people who do you dirty helps with so much. He should not be able to contact you, period. And I mean on every social media platform. I mean messages. He should not be able to contact you. How do I stop caring about people's opinions? This was something I struggled with all throughout high school. And I just had to learn that someone is always going to say something negative. That's just the world we live in. You could probably have a group of 5 people and one person out of the 5 will be just saying nothing but negative things, because that's just how some people are. Some people are truly just miserable and critique every little thing. And then I also just realized that it's my life, it's not theirs, so I'm not going to do things for other people just because that's the way they think I should live it. I rather just do stuff for me. And if people have something to say about it, people have something to say about it. You really have to just lock into that main character energy. Like, oh, I'm the main character of my story, so I'm going to do what I want. And these other people are literally just side characters. Just like how you can be a side character into somebody else's story. Just live your life for you and just do you. People are always going to say something, and that's just life, and that's okay. Plus, like I've mentioned, give them something to talk about. They obviously have nothing better to do if they're worrying about you. How to approach a guy. This makes me laugh because in my math class, there's a group of boys that sit diagonal from me and my girlfriends. And we always just are like, oh, that's the cute boy table. And then one day I was just like, I'm gonna go up to them and get all their snap. And my group was so shocked that I was so bold about it. Honestly, from my experiences, guys just get really weird and nervous and don't approach a lot of girls. And a lot of guys like it more when a girl approaches a guy. And honestly, when I started approaching guys, my confidence got so much better. Just because it's one of those things where it's like, damn, I'm that bitch. Like, I went up to you. And you don't have to approach them and just be like, oh my gosh, what's your snap or whatever. You could just have a conversation, just be like, hi, like, I really like your shirt. I really like your eyebrows. I always start with a compliment because what are they gonna say? Like, fuck off. They're gonna accept the compliment, and if they don't respond to that, then they're not worth your time. And if they do and start a conversation, then there you go. And if you do approach a guy asking for their number or their Snapchat or whatever, the worst thing that they can say is no. And if it's no, it's not meant to be. If they do give it to you, obviously it is. Most of the time, they're just going to be shocked that you went up to them. How to stop hating your ex. See, this one, it just depends on the relationship. My first relationship, I do not hate my ex. But my last relationship, I don't want to say I hate him, but I have a deep, deep resentment towards him. And honestly, it all just takes in time with healing. I hated my first ex for a while just because of the aftermath after our breakup. And the more time I gave it and the more time I let myself heal and grow, I'm just no longer mad at him. I actually really hope he's doing well and living his best life and accomplishing everything he's ever wanted. But then my most recent relationship that ended almost a year ago, like I said, I have a deep resentment towards. But I will probably be sitting here again next year and I probably will be okay and just let it all go. So all in due time. As much as it sucks. Why are girl friendships so complicated? In my opinion, if your girl friendships are complicated, then they are just not true friends, or you guys just aren't meant to last as friends. Because all of my girlfriends right now, I don't have complicated relationships with. But most of the time with girls, a lot of jealousy is involved. When I was in high school, I was friends with these two girls. And I was always jealous of them because they always got invited to places. And then I wouldn't get invited and it would just make me feel left out and I just wanted to be there. So I would just be jealous that they got to do these things. But I have also been friends with girls who are jealous of me and the things that I have. So jealousy can definitely be a huge factor on why the relationship's complicated. Us girls too, we're just emotional. Everything is very high emotion based with girls and that's okay. No shame. I'm probably the most dramatic and emotional person I know. Plus most of the time girls aren't really good at communicating. I always struggle with this. I like keeping things to myself. Which is funny because I'm a communication major. I'm a communication major who can't fucking communicate. So if there's an issue within your friendship and it's not being communicated, it's just going to set fuel to the fire and make the problem even bigger, even though it can be the stupidest fucking thing, like they borrowed your shirt and never got it back. It's so hard being a girl, but I love it. Alright, last question. This is kind of a short episode. Sorry, but I'm having so much fun right now. I want to do this again. Is it okay to text the toxic as fuck ex for closure? Fuck no. Here's why. I'm a very big closure person. I remember my last relationship, I had wrote my ex a letter when I gave back his stuff, and I just poured my heart out, and I just wanted to let him know that, like, even though we were over, I was very thankful for our relationship, because I don't like it when a relationship ends with the person and they never know truly how I feel about them. That's just me. Even if when the relationship's ending, I am the maddest person in the world. But if we're dealing with a toxic ex, that's what that person wants from you. They want you to text them asking for closure because this can serve as a chance to get you back. It's okay to crave closure, but if we're dealing with a toxic person to get closure from, that is simply just not going to happen, unfortunately. You and this person broke up because the relationship was broken and there was no way that you can fix it. So no, do not text them, block them. I'm just going to make an episode called Block Him, where I just yell block him for like 20 minutes straight so it gets in everybody's fucking head. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into Poor Decisions today. I had a lot of fun with this episode. I want to do more episodes like this. Like I said in the description of this episode, I will leave a little form where you could submit your own questions or even your own stories that you want advice on or that you would like me to share. You can follow the Poor Decisions podcast everywhere. Also, you could leave a review if you really liked this episode or this podcast. The Poor Decisions pod is everywhere on social media, Instagram, TikTok. I am also on YouTube if you want a more visual look of the episode. And if you want more of me, I am on also social medias. My Instagram and TikTok are Sydney Christensen with 2 eyes, and my YouTube is just Sydney Christensen. I haven't been posting on there, but I want to start posting again because I do have a lot of fun making videos, and because it was my New Year's resolution, so you'll be seeing way more of me there soon. But thank you for tuning in for today's episode. I post every Monday. I'm gonna start being consistent again. I missed a week. I'm so sorry. Guilty. Have the best day ever, best night ever whenever you're listening. I love you so much, and thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time. Peace out.